Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something that I'm actually kind of excited about, but I want to go ahead and mention I am still sick. It's been about a week since I filmed my last video and my voice is still like going out and cracking. My throat is still got this like tickle to it and I don't know what I'm sick with. I've tried my very best to like stay home, have tea, like give it time to pass, but it is taking its time. So yeah, it's not been the most fun week dealing with all this, but this morning we had something really awesome happen, and that is we got snow in Florida. This happened last year, this same week last year we got snow, and we had never gotten that amount of snow like ever. And it was like record breaking. And then this year it was nowhere near the same amount, but we got snow and we got up this morning, went outside and we played in the snow. So far today, it's only like 11:30. We've had like a really fun day, but I was feeling tired, again, because I've been sick. So my husband took our daughter to the zoo this morning, and I've just decided I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about reading my physical TBR, and we're going to do a little bit of a reading vlog as I go through some books that I have on my physical TBR that I am just trying to knock off my physical TBR. First up, we're going to talk about a book that I am currently reading, and I'm buddy reading this with my best friend Savannah. This is The Silent Patient. I am so intrigued by this book. It's different from a lot of other thrillers that I've read because, again, I'm not a huge thriller reader. I've read books by Frida McFadden and I've read some books by Geneva Rose, but this book is the first, I believe, thriller that I've read by this author, and it's definitely different than what I've read before. I am so intrigued by what's going on. I can't remember what page I'm on. I want to say I'm on like 165-ish. So I think I'm nearing or right around the 50% mark. But yeah, this has been on my physical TBR for a little while. I actually picked this book up with my best friend Savannah while we were at a library sale last year. And both of us were like, when we're ready to read this, we're going to do it together. And now is that time. So let's do a little reading vlog here. And let's talk about this book first, because we are trying in 2026 to dwindle down my physical TBR. I read a lot of books that were on my physical TBR last year, but I also bought a lot of books, so my physical TBR really did not change in size. I've read, I think, half of what was on my physical TBR in 2025, but again, I basically just replaced it with new books. And now in 2026, I'm not having this huge urge to go book shopping. I'm just wanting to dwindle down that physical TBR and make room on my shelves and just kind of be able to look at my shelves and be like, I've read so many of these books, instead of looking at them and seeing all the books that I have not read. So again, let's get into a reading vlog and let's go ahead and jump back into The Silent Patient. I don't understand. Like, Okay, everybody, I finished reading The Silent Patient, and Savannah, she finished reading it actually like just before I did. And when we were going over kind of our final thoughts on the book, we basically were thinking the same thing the entire time. And that's that we weren't completely surprised by the ending, but we didn't hate it. Like, we weren't disappointed. We thought it was good, but at the same time, there was like this weird anticlimacticness to the ending. So while we thought it was really good, it just kind of like tapered off at the very, very end, where there wasn't like a super satisfying finish to the book, but we weren't like 100% disappointed in it, if that makes sense. I don't want to spoil the book, but we were also just very suspicious the entire time. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go with like a 4.5 star. While I think it was really good and I think it's like a really great thriller, I don't think it hits that 5-star mark for me because of those little critiques I have. But I do think 4.5 would be really good. I would definitely recommend it to people because it was really good. Tonight I need to do a little bit of crafting and working on a poster sign for my husband's birthday. Our daughter, she has decided that me and him need to have themes for our birthdays, just like she does. So this year she picked out for my birthday that I was gonna have a Twilight birthday. And for my husband, she said that he's gonna have a Stranger Things birthday. So I'm gonna try to make him like a little poster sign that is Stranger Things themed. And I'm gonna work on that tonight. I've got my headphones and I'm going to listen to a little bit of an audiobook tonight. I think, a little over 50% of the way through The Last Wish of Bristol Keats, and I'm gonna just listen to some of that. I've got the audiobook on Spotify, and we're gonna see how much of this poster, hopefully all of it, I can finish tonight before it gets too late and I get tired and ready for bed. And I have read more of not The Courting of Bristol Keats, that's the first one, The Last Wish of Bristol Keats, and it's very cute, very good. I'm still really enjoying it, but I was listening to it with my audiobook hours from Spotify, and I have now ran out of audiobook hours. I've ran out of audiobook hours and I don't know what to do now. I can read more of the physical book, obviously, but I am now about to fold some laundry, so I kind of want to listen to an audiobook. So I'm going to look at my Libby and see what I can get my hands on that is something that is on my Physical TBR, because that would be great to knock something else off of that soon. Found the audiobook on Libby, available for Atmosphere, which is right up here. I've heard really, really good things about this book and I've been really excited to read it. I just haven't found the time to like get around to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it on audio from Libby, and then if we need to later, I'm gonna jump into the physical book. Having to go get my physical copy right now and get some like annotation tabs and stuff, because some of the things that they are saying in this audiobook already are just hitting me and I need to highlight them. I need to put them down and I need to make sure I don't lose these because it's already really good. sister is ticking me off. I want to fight her sister. Okay, let's talk about that. So obviously you saw in the last clip I was sobbing. I knew that a lot of people had cried reading this book. I didn't really realize it was going to hit me that hard. I was even like telling my husband about it this morning because I'm still so impacted by that story. It was amazing, and I'll show you guys, I did do some annotating in the book, and I don't annotate often, but when I do, it's usually because I really like the writing style, or there's just some quotes that I feel like really are applicable to me, or some things that happen that I really enjoyed, maybe the author's take on them. But maybe I can read you guys a couple of these quotes. Let me have a look. Let's see which ones I can find. Okay, like this one. It says, "I don't think you had any say over whether or not I loved you," Joan said. "I don't even think I had any say in it. It happened without me even giving my permission." Aw. And then if we go on and read some more. Okay, this is when one of the other characters is talking to our main character's niece, and she says, "For some people, childhood is the best part of their lives, and later, all they are trying to do is go back to it. But for people like us, it's different. The good part hasn't started yet, but it's coming. It's just ahead. When your life is in your own hands, and listen to me, you are going to soar." So I don't think I really said earlier exactly what this book is about, but it's kind of got a literary fiction, really emotional story kind of driving behind it. It is a love story and there's a romance happening, but in it as well, we've got our main character, and it's the 1980s. She is trying to become a woman who's joining NASA. Like I think she was an astronomer is what she was, or astrophysicist. I want to say she was an astronomer, but she is joining NASA and wanting to go to space, and we are getting her story about her doing that, as well as a romance, a love story happening, and even some love, like a love story that is more familial. I think it is the word agape, is agape love, like the parental love. Like you've got her niece that she just really cares. Really beautiful, really sweet, really well done. I can't believe I've had this sitting on my shelf for so long and didn't read it. I mean, and again, I annotated quite a few marks in this book, and I'm not someone who typically does that. So this is very highly recommended by me. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, I was reading some of The Last Wish of Bristol Keats. I have not jumped back into that book. I think I'm mainly wanting to listen to it on audio. I did do the first one on audio, so maybe that's why I'm not wanting to physically sit down and read it. But I think I am quite a bit through that book, like somewhere around 80-ish%. So I should be able to finish that really quickly once I can get my hands back on the audiobook, or if I do decide to pick up the physical book again. But physically now I am reading A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver, reading it on my Kindle, although I do have the physical book as well. I thrifted it a couple of years ago, and I hadn't jumped into them yet because I had yet to finish the Chestnut Springs series. Technically, this series comes before the Chestnut Springs series, and I think I only own the first two, and I think there's at least 3 in this series, but it's also on Kindle Unlimited, so I am reading it on my Kindle because I just have a really
a much easier time reading on my Kindle most of the time. I am reading this now, and I think I am almost a quarter of the way through. Okay, no, I'm only 13% of the way through, but I find that a lot of her books I'm able to read really quickly, so I don't think this will take me very long, and that will be just another book that is knocked off of my physical TBR once I'm done. But I say all of that to also say that I'm not going to finish any other books in this vlog, and that is just because I don't want this to get too incredibly long. If I wanted to finish The Last Wish of Bristol Keats and this one in this vlog, I think it could go on for a while, but I'm not going to make you guys sit through all of that. I just wanted to make sure you were informed, you know, what it is I am planning to read, and that I am knocking a few more books off of my physical TBR. But thank you guys so much for watching this vlog and wanting to keep up with what it is that I'm reading. Hopefully I can make a really big dent in my physical TBR in 2026. I'm hoping that I can read most, if not all, of these books that I have. I mean, I always want to have books to read, so, you know, maybe I won't get through all of them, but I would really like it if I could really dwindle down what my physical TBR is, because it's a little out of hand in my opinion. But I will see you guys in my next video next week. Thank you for watching. Bye!